Well, fans, you see the crash cars going on the track behind us. It's a little loud down here, but we're still going to keep you up to date with everything that's going on. Now, we've had a really wild qualifying and a really wild first round in the books so far. Qualifying, the big surprise, Mike Hawkins doing his job defending that racing victory from last year. Smooth and fast from Hawkins, laying down the fast time in qualifying. One of the big surprises was Carl Van Horn and Stone Crusher laying down one of the best times of the night in qualifying, and Doug Noelke and Tailgater establishing himself as one to beat. Now the big disappointing thing in qualifying was Mark Hall in the Raminator. He lost power coming around for the second time in qualifying. The team went thrashing back to the pits and got him to come out to the line for the first round matchup against Equalizer. But right there at the line, Mark was unable to get Raminator to fire, allowing Mike Hawkins to walk away with a first-round victory, moving on into round two. Now then we saw some really wild racing action. A real close win by Carl Van Horn and Stone Crusher over Brutus. Some other good racing. The tough track bit a couple of guys, with Mopar Magic taking himself out with a spin out. But then the race of the round came in the final one. Doug Noelke with the Tailgater on his way to an easy win over Andy Hoffman and Nitemare. Came around to the inside. He had a big lead. He spun it out in the corner. Doug throws it into a big donut to keep it going, and he's coming back around towards the thing. He's catching Andy. They're coming up to the finish line with head of steam, and there it is. Andy misses it with two tires, and Doug does a crazy sky wheelie up over the finish to take the win in one of the closest and wildest races so far tonight. So we're going into round two. We've got lots more great racing coming up, and the guys to watch is going to be Mike Hawkins, Carl Van Horn, and Doug Noelke. They're the ones to beat right now, and we'll see how it all shakes out.